Okay, how big was Kobe Bryant's role in the Lakers three-peat? Ask 10 NBA fans who carried the Lakers during the three-peat, and you'll get 10 different answers. Some will tell you Shaquille O'Neal. Others will argue that Kobe was already the best player by the second championship. Then there are those who believe Kobe was simply a talented sidekick riding Shaq's dominance. So, what is the actual truth? Today we're stripping away the nostalgia and looking at the numbers, the film, the matchups, and the context to answer one question. Just how big of a role did Kobe Bryant really play during the Lakers' 3 consecutive championships from 2000 to 2002? And the answer is far more complicated than either side truly wants to admit. Now let's establish one thing immediately. Shaquille O'Neal was the best player on the Lakers. This really is not a debate. In the 2000s finals, Shaq averaged roughly 38 points, 17 rebounds, and nearly 3 blocks. In 2001, he averaged 33 points and 16 rebounds. 3 straight final MVPs. The offense revolved around Shaq. Every defensive game plan started with stopping Shaq. If we're asking who was the number one option, it is Shaq. End of discussion. But that's not the real debate. The debate is whether Kobe was merely a passenger or whether he was the reason those championships happened. Kobe wasn't yet peak Kobe. One mistake fans make is imagining 2006 Kobe playing next to Shaq. That player did not exist yet. During the three-peat, Kobe was between 21 and 23 years old, still improving, still developing his body, still learning how to read defenses. And yet, even at that age, he was already becoming one of the league's best perimeter players. By 2001, he averaged nearly 29 points per game in the playoffs. That is superstar production, not role player production. Now, here's where history gets distorted. People remember Shaq destroying Indiana, Philadelphia, the New Jersey Nets. But those weren't the real Lakers' toughest opponents. The real finals during those times happened earlier. The Portland Trail Blazers, the Sacramento Kings, the San Antonio Spurs. Those teams had elite front courts designed specifically to slow Shaq down. They doubled him. They tripled him. Collapsed the paint on him, which meant somebody else had to beat them, and that somebody was 9 times out of 10 one Kobe Bryant. Now, if you really understand Kobe's value, watch the 2001 Western Conference Finals. The Lakers swept San Antonio. Most expected a long series, but instead, Kobe completely dismantled one of the league's best defenses. He averaged around 33 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists against a team featuring Tim Duncan and David Robinson. Think about that. Shaq was dominant, but Kobe was arguably the best player in that series. Without Kobe exploding on the perimeter, the Spurs could have sold out even more aggressively against Shaq. But instead, they had no answers. Now let's talk about perhaps the greatest team the Lakers faced, the 2002 Sacramento Kings. They had shooting, passing, depth, Chris Webber, Mike Bibby, Peja Stojakovic, Doug Christie. This series wasn't won because Shaq averaged 50. It was won because Kobe consistently punished Sacramento's perimeter defense, late game shot making, transition scoring, creating offense when teams fronted Shaq, drawing double teams away from the post. Those things don't always appear in the box score, but they completely change how defenses operated against the Los Angeles Lakers. People forget something. Shaq had one major offensive limitation. He couldn't create offense away from the basket. If teams denied him post position, someone else had to initiate. He attacked off the dribble. That was Kobe. Created late clock offense. That was Kobe. Ran pick and roll. That was Kobe. Closed out games. That was Kobe. Without Kobe, every possession becomes predictable. Throw it inside, hope Shaq gets deep position. This isn't championship basketball. Kobe made the offense dynamic. Shaq made it unstoppable. Everyone remembers Kobe scoring. Few remember who he defended. Night after night, he took the toughest perimeter assignment. The Allen Iversons, the Steve Smiths, the Doug Christie, the Reggie Miller, the Jason Kidd. Kobe wasn't just scoring 25 points. He was also chasing elite guards for 40 plus minutes. Shaq dominated one end. Kobe carried a much heavier two-way workload. Now, the question everyone wants to ask, was Kobe replaceable? Could you put a Tracy McGrady next to Shaq? Could you put later on a D Wade or any of the guards during that time next to Shaq? If you replace Kobe with another all-star shooting guard, do the Lakers still win 3 championships? Maybe 1, maybe 2. But all 3? I don't know about that one. Because Kobe wasn't simply scoring. He solved every problem that Shaq couldn't. The ball handling, the perimeter defense, the late game shot creation, transition offense, free throw shooting, secondary playmaking. Every championship team needs complementary skills. Kobe provided almost all of them. And now, to be fair, there are people that argue Kobe's role gets overstated. And they have valid points. Shaq was clearly the focal point. Every finals MVP went to him. Defenses were built around him. When the Lakers needed a guaranteed basket, the first option was usually Shaq. Without Shaq, the Lakers probably didn't win any of those championships. That's a reasonable argument. But here's the flaw. Basketball isn't played in isolation. Just because Shaq was the best player doesn't mean Kobe's role was small. And so, how big was Kobe Bryant's role in the Lakers three-peat? He wasn't the best player, that was Shaq. But calling Kobe a sidekick dramatically undersells his impact. He was the perimeter engine, the closer in many Western Conference playoff games, the elite defender, the secondary creator. And in several playoff series, particularly against San Antonio in 2001, he performed at a level that rivaled any superstar in basketball. The reality lies between two extremes. The Lakers don't three-peat without Shaq, but they also don't three-peat without Kobe. One was the unstoppable force in the paint. The other was a versatile star who made the dynasty impossible to game plan against. And perhaps that's the biggest misconception of all. The Lakers didn't win because Shaq carried Kobe. They won because Shaq and Kobe covered each other's weaknesses better than almost any superstar duo in NBA history. The legacy of the Lakers three-peat isn't about choosing Shaq or Kobe. It's about understanding why together they became one of the most dominant combinations the league has ever seen. Separate them and they're all-time greats. Together, they're nearly unbeatable.